Welcome to Celebrate a Sister podcast. I'm your host, Emma Walkinshaw. I'm a transformational coach. I'm also the founder of the Body Love Revolution program and the creator of 21 Minutes of Morning Magic. You may also find me on the yoga mat leading yoga sessions and also running retreats here in Australia and internationally. Here on this podcast, I bring you some pretty incredible guests. We talk all things self-belief, personal development, inspired action, accepting the beautiful bodies we were born into, letting go of old beliefs and raising your self-awareness. I also come to you from time to time with a little solo episode, a little life according to Emma. I'm so glad you're here. Enjoy. Welcome to this week's episode of Celebrate a Sister. I'm your host, Emma Walkinshaw. A big warm welcome to you. This week's podcast is all about our relationships with others, and how when we have a poor self-body image, how it can affect the people around us and our connection. And I'm speaking purely from my own experience here. I was on Facebook yesterday and a memory popped up, and here was this gorgeous picture of myself from back in 2009, my two beautiful children, my mother-in-law, and it was taken in Hawaii. We had a great family holiday to Hawaii. I looked at this photo and I'm going to say the S word, the skinny word. I looked at myself at this photo and went, oh my goodness, look how skinny I am. But then I felt a little sad because I remembered that holiday. And I remembered how my lack of self-love and my lack of body acceptance really did put a bit of a strain on my relationships with others, particularly my gorgeous husband, who is so compassionate and caring. And I have, quite frankly, driven that poor man mad, and he deserves a gold medal. He's been so gracious over the years and a big part of my healing. Not that I'm saying that a man or another person outside of you has to help you heal your own body concerns, but gee, it's helpful. So I purely remember that holiday to Hawaii, and I remember feeling so self-conscious in my swimmers. And I remember even starting a fight with Brendan. We've been married 24 years now. I remember starting a fight with him and him going, I actually don't know what I've done wrong. I'm kind of don't know what I did, Emma. And the truth was, he actually hadn't done anything wrong. I was feeling incredibly insecure and not good enough. And that's ticking around in my mind. So then, of course, I project that on him just being dissatisfied, when the truth is it was my own inner journey of feeling incredibly insecure. The other thing that I've done over the years, which I know has impacted relationships and impacted, not that it's been significant, but impacted that ability to be in the moment when I'm distracted with my own dialogue in my head. And as you've heard me call it before, my own little itty bitty shitty committee doing a number on me, talking about or talking to me in a way that is just so not true. Doing the whole comparison. I would be with Brendan walking along and we'd see another woman on the beach and I'd say, am I the same size of her? Am I a bit smaller? I'm bigger than her, aren't I? And he would say to me, what woman are you talking about? I go, oh, don't be ridiculous. You know what woman? And he would be just like bamboozled at what? And he'd go, really? We're doing this one, are we? Really? Have a look around where we are, Emma. Again, through my own self-perception and my lack of self-esteem, I would be wanting to play the comparison game. And the truth is, that poor man was never going to get it right. If he had said that I was bigger than her or I was smaller than her, the man wouldn't have got it right. I would have went, oh, and I would have wanted to carry on about it. So again, that's another way that's just stolen. I've allowed it to steal me from the present moment and fall into that comparison. And it is a rabbit hole. We can get down that rabbit hole and be there for quite some time. Not a joyful place. The next way that I feel that my lack of self-acceptance in my earlier days has impacted and affected my life was the terror of someone inviting us to a social occasion and me going, oh my goodness, what am I going to wear? And then the angst and the agony of what am I going to wear? And then I'm sure you all identify with this, eventually trying on 7 different outfits all over the bed, all over the floor. You have to go out. You go out, you've been uncomfortable. You wore your granny undies and your tummy got all squashed and you need to do a fart and you can't sit down and you're uncomfortable. You don't want to go to the bathroom because you've got these ginormous granny undies on. You come home to, 7 outfits all over the bed and the floor that you've got to pick up. And it's purely from, again, that lack of accepting who you are. So those 3 points, picking a fight with my husband, wanting to play the comparison game, the terror of going to a social gathering and what am I going to wear, and then potentially wearing something that's uncomfortable, or the granny undies that drive you nuts, the Spanx that drive you nuts. I, as a woman growing into this beautiful wisdom years, my beautiful harvest queen time, as my dear friend Yogi Lou refers to it, moving into my MAGA phase, which is that wiser part of me, I'm rewriting the narrative. My whole vision and purpose for the online Body Love Summit is to start to rewrite and bring some conversation from women who have come through their own body acceptance journey. So as we rewrite the challenge, there's a couple of questions I'm asking myself. So when I start to find some of those old stories coming up, I ask myself, is this belief true? Is this actually true? This belief that I'm thinking about, comparing myself or feeling insecure or not feeling good enough, is this actually true? And if it is true, well, what's really that all about? If it's not true, great, we've cracked it. Sometimes that question doesn't quite get me there though. So I have to go a little deeper and I have to ask myself, am I having a relapse and measuring myself against unrealistic beauty standards? Am I allowing an outdated beauty standard have me feel not enough? So that's the other question I've been asking myself. I'm getting really, really curious and I'm challenging the thoughts that come in, challenging that voice in my head that has told me lots of different stories about not good enough. And particularly when I look back at that photo of me in Hawaii with my family, and part of me does feel a little sad. And I think, oh my goodness, I robbed myself of so much joy, but no more. Rewriting the story, knowing that the next social occasion that I'm invited to, it is a hell yes, and I will not wear Spanx. I will have my belly be soft if it needs to be. My bottom may be a little wobblier, but I do not mind. I will be comfortable and I will enjoy the connection and the relationships because that's what it's about. A friend said to me the other day, and I loved what she said. She's on the summit. She's on the Body Love Revolution Summit, and her name is Emma too. And Emma said, I was thinking about, she was reflecting on her own journey and her own body love acceptance journey. And she was saying that when she feels these feelings that she's not good enough because she's not in the body that she was when she was younger, she thinks to herself, when I have a friend, do I love them any less because they're in a bigger body? Do I love them any less because they're in a smaller body? And she says, no. So she says, I have to challenge that part of me that when I think that I am in a bigger body and I'm dissatisfied, will people love me less because I'm in a bigger body? Absolutely not. So we have to come back to that also and remind ourselves that even if we are in a body that we don't quite accept, we are still lovable. We are still who we are. My husband often says to me, I don't know what you see, but you don't see what I see. You don't see what other people see. And partly that is true. We have such an illusion around what we look like in our self-perception, and it's somewhat tainted. It's been tainted over the years. So my darling, I hope me sharing my little chronicles from my Hawaii trip and my past photos sheds a little light for you. And I'm sure you'll identify with some of these little topics. But let's get curious. Let's start to question those outdated beauty standards that do not serve us anymore and are potentially bogus. They're not even a thing. We've just taken them on and they're not even ours. Thanks, my darling. Have a gorgeous week. Join me for the Body Love Revolution Online Summit. Cannot wait to share with you. Have some incredible guests. The Body Love Revolution Online Summit is this February, the 12th to the 15th. If you would love access to these incredible conversations from thought leaders, please click the link in the show notes. All I need is your first name, your surname, and your email, and this summit will be popped right in your inbox. Yes, this summit is free, so you'll have access to all of these incredible conversations. Enjoy, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts and feelings. No doubt there will be transformation.